Hi VC, this is Chris. I'm back to do another video. This one's going to be called Gimme approximately 10 family trees. So I'm going to try to do the sort of similar to Pete Frame's trees that he has illustrated. He has a book out on that showing all the permutations and branches and things of various bands. So I'm going to try to do Spirit in around 10 albums. You know, it'll be more, but you know, that's the idea of the thing. Show how Spirit evolved and split up and various things. So to get started, this is the first Spirit album, The Family That Plays Together. Their first 3 albums were on the Ode label. So there's pictures of the band: Ed Cassidy, Mark Andes, John Locke, Jay Ferguson, and Randy California. So 68, 69, they did put out 3 albums on Ode. And then around 1972, the band seemed to explode. Randy California left. Jay Ferguson left. So the remaining members of Spirit put out this album in 72, Spirit Feedback. So this is Ed Cassidy, John Locke, and they brought in the Staehely brothers to round out the band on rhythm and lead guitar and vocals. So this is, they also switched labels to Epic. And this was a pretty good album. Sounded a little bit different, less jazzy, but still good. Spirit Feedback. And then also that year, Jay Ferguson started a band along with Matt Andes, who was Mark Andes' brother, called JoJo Gunn. And I'll show that in just a moment. But 72 was their first album. 1973, Randy California put out an album, Kapt and Kopter and the Fabulous Twirly Birds. So this is Randy California and a couple of musicians to help him out. So this is basically a power trio album. About half of it's covers, half of it are Randy California compositions. This is also on the Epic label, 1973. 1973 also saw the Staehely brothers, who were in on the Feedback album from 72. They went off and did their own album. This is on Epic label. The title of the album is Sta-hay-lee. So phonetic version of how to pronounce their name. And that was Al Staehely and John Christian Staehely doing most of it, and some supporting cast members for them. And this is I think the second JoJo Gunn album. Jay Ferguson, Matt Andes, brother of Mark from the original lineup in Spirit. Bite Down Hard, this is on Asylum. And I think they did a total of 5 albums. This is I think their 3rd one, maybe. Jumping the Gun. Still on Asylum. This is a gatefold. Jumping the gun. And then we continue with Spirit. So now Randy California has come back, and this is basically a Randy California Ed Cassidy, the guitarist and the drummer, Spirit of 76. This was put out in 1975 on Mercury label. This is a 2 LP set. So you can't really get much detail, but that's a drawing, a lot of text. 1975. Spirit, the Spirit of 76. And then in 1976, they put out this one, Farther Along. Now this is this is practically the whole band, except now the Andes brothers are in the band and Jay Ferguson is out. So Mark and Matt Andes are in there, John Locke, Ed Cassidy, Randy California, still on Mercury. And I think this is, they put out this live album, 1978. Live Spirit. So this is a trio again, Randy California, Ed Cassidy, and Larry Knight on bass and vocals. And this is on Potato label. And inner sleeve with some lyrics. During this time, other band members went on to put out some albums, which I'll show in a moment. But then 1981, Spirit, The Adventures of Captain Kopter, and Commander Cassidy in Potato Land. This is on the Rhino label, 1981. I showed this before, but I forgot to show the enclosed comic that comes with it. Potato Land. So this is sort of looks like an underground comic of the 70s. There it's got some lyrics. More illustrations. More illustrations and lyrics. Lyrics and the end of the comic. So, Spirit, The Adventures of Captain Kopter and Commander Cassidy in Potato Land. And then an EP put out by Spirit, which is Randy California, backed by sort of a version of Spirit Band on one track, Shattered Dreams, and Hey Joe with another cast of in its support. And this is on Line Records, I think. Yeah. Line Records, 1982. And then the last one I have, Randy California, Restless. This is on the Vertigo label. from 1985. A different version of the Vertigo label, but so that was Spirit. They put out several more albums, but I'd have to show CDs for ones beyond that. Randy California passed away in 1997. So Jay Ferguson, he went on to do JoJo Gunn for several albums, and then he went solo after that. So here's one from 1976, All Alone in the End Zone. Here he's backed by, looks like the Joe Walsh band that did the Smoker You Drink, whatever the rest of that album was. It's got his Rocky Mountain High song. And this is on Asylum. Yeah, this is on Asylum, 1976. And 1977, Jay Ferguson still. Thunder Island on Asylum. Yeah, he did several more albums. I think he did some soundtrack work, or at least put songs on some TV series. And then Mark Andes from the original lineup went on to join Firefall. So Firefall's are a soft rock supergroup. This is 1976 self-titled album. Firefall was made up of Larry Burnett, Jock Bartley, Rick Roberts, Mark Andes, and Michael Clark. So Michael Clark from the original Byrds, Jock Bartley from some later version of the Burrito Brothers, Rick Roberts from the Burrito Brothers, and Mark Andes from Spirit. And then 1978, they put out there was another album. They did several more besides this. Strange Way was the, I think, the hit song off of this album on Asylum. Let's see. David Muse had joined him on this album. So that was a condensed history of Spirit and the various members of the band. So thanks for watching, and see if I can think of somebody else that I can put together and show their history. So see you guys later.